Hi everyone, I have a big announcement today, and that is the publication of Activating the Divine Human, Embracing Our Shadows as Well as Our Light. About a few months back, around September, October of 2023, I decided that I wanted to get into the publishing world and to do it different and to make it more about the healing in community rather than just publishing a book or publishing a chapter. At that point, I had my own book. I was part of 2 multi-author books, and I just wanted to do things a little different. So I reached out to a group of people, and luckily, magically, most of them said yes. And that was the starting point of the publication and this book that we've all put together. So just to tell you about the publishing part of this, it's called I.AM Publishing, and the way I came up with that actually was taking the first letter of a few of the names of people I love in my life, and it just came to I am, and it looks like a little smiley face, so that's all did it for me. And throughout this process, like I said, it was just more about, I wanted to do something that was more about the healing journey of the people that want to write and want to share their stories, and just that whole process. It can be a really healing and releasing experience, and also building community of support, of love, and that's what exactly I've done. So if you want to learn more about I.AM Publishing and all the different things that I can help you with, you can go ahead and check out my website, atusaraision.com, and just go to the publishing part of the services. Now, about the book. So this book, the people in it are just some beautiful, amazing humans, and I have my own chapter in there as well. But this book is just about finding that divine part, that God's self, whatever you want to call it, higher consciousness in your heart, living from that open heart space. And because ultimately we are these divine beings, these light beings, energy beings, higher consciousness, whatever you want to call it, in this physical forms, experiencing a human life. And it's not about the shadow, it's not about the light, it's not about the good or bad. If you take all those definitions out and bring it all together, and just look at it as just experiences, that's really getting us back into that heart space, that love space, that knowing, flowing in life, that everything we're doing, we're supported, we're loved, we're safe. So if you want to get on our pre-order list, or better yet, if you want to help us when the book is coming out in June 2024, to purchase it, share it, write reviews, any way you can help us, support us when the book comes out, appreciate it. And if you want to learn more about the book, about the authors, right after I stop yapping, you're going to learn more about them. But also on the website, you can find information about the book, signing up, and also learning more about the authors. Please welcome all these beautiful souls to your life for a little bit, and hear them out. And they're sharing their stories, their beautiful stories with you, of how they're embracing their shadows and light and finding that love space, that divine space in themselves. Love you all. Thank you, and love every beautiful author that decided to yes and trust me and be part of this book.
Hello. Being part of this book has turned out to be an amazing opportunity for me to share my creative self with others. I consider my story to be a masterpiece because it is infused with my fascination for nature, and it describes my longing for connecting with my roots. My approach to my story is very close to my heart. This is simply because nature has always been a source of inspiration for me in many ways. Being inspired by nature and the world that surrounds me has led me to incredible and challenging experiences while in pursuit of knowledge through science, philosophy, and more recently, art and spirituality. In my chapter, I also share a little bit about how my search for wellness practices with the goal of better work-life balance and performance helped me rediscover the artist in me. And in this sense, I see my story as an example on how embracing different perspectives can give us a more complete picture or awareness of who we are, including everything challenging, confusing, or seemingly contradictory. My name is Daisy del Carmen, and I hope you find something of value in my story. And I invite you to check out my artwork and other creative projects in the future.
Hi, my name is Judy Gray. I'm a certified professional coach, mom, wife, daughter, sister, friend, and now also an author, which is really cool. I never thought that that would be one of the titles. And so I'm so excited to be a part of this opportunity, not only to provide content for what I hope you as the reader will truly enjoy and glean from, but also the opportunity that this project has given me in my own healing journey. As a coach, one who specializes in sexual betrayal trauma, I have a lot of focus and time spent on my one part of my story, which is that as a partner of who's been sexually betrayed and all the trauma and things that come with that. That's a story I share day in, day out with clients and colleagues, etc. And this is different. That one chunk of my life does not define me, and to be able to expand upon all the different things in my life and what, has occurred and brought me to where I am today, it's so multifaceted. And, to have the opportunity to share these experiences with you and really highlight the overarching theme of my chapter, which is I have not arrived. I have not arrived. One day I can be up and the next down and the next in the middle, and that's real. So my chapter is, very much place of getting real. When I began this process, I was so excited. I was gung-ho. I knew what I was going to say and share. And I promise you, this has challenged me like no other. It has been 3 years of therapy wrapped into, a few months. I have become so aware of the gaps and shadows I didn't even know I had, and places I still need to look and dig into, those places of fear and trepidation and caution, and where I'm not showing up fully. There's so many things that have been uncovered and unearthed throughout this process, which again, I'm so thankful for. So what I hope that you get again from this chapter is to know you're not alone, to say, hey, me too, I get that, I feel that, and to know that it's okay. As a coach, as a professional, it can be scary to share some of these things, some of these personal things that we think and define as failure. And I think it's okay and important that we each share those shadows or those places that we call fault, and we embrace them and love them fully. So the more we do that, the greater we all will be, and the more comfortable we will be with ourselves, with loving ourselves and those around us. So cheers, and I'm looking forward to this process. Thank you.
Carl Jung is known to say that if you want to heal a patient, make him creative. This was a definite head nod to the creative process and how it heals ourselves from the inside out. Now, I've studied a number of different energy healing modalities, and through the process of learning these modalities, I learned firsthand and through my own experience how the brain actually does heal. You access what's called a flow state. So the wonderful thing about creativity is that it is that flow state. Once you tap into that, it is the lifeline to the divine. It is the lifeline to healing, because all healing comes through that inner connection. When our brain is in balance, our bodies become balanced, our nervous system becomes regulated, and we can access the higher states of consciousness. Why? Because when we're in the fight or flight stress response, we are stuck in the reptilian brain, which is all about survival. When we relax the nervous system, balance the hemispheres of the brain, we get into what's called the neocortex, which is the human brain. It is where we have access to higher consciousness. The neocortex is basically home to all the higher vibrations of love, peace, and harmony. I talk about this in my chapter for the book Activate Your Life, Volume 4. This whole like metaphysical process that happens when you heal a brain, right? So what I didn't add in there and what's missing is that creativity itself is that flow that can help balance the brain. And once we're in that flow state, that is the direct link to the divine. And I wanted to say divine, but it's within us. So the divine lives within us, and we have access to that at any point. So the chapter that I wrote for this book, Activating the Divine Human, is all about my discovery of this process. It happened very organically. I had no idea what I was getting into when I started this whole creative journey. But I found myself going between creativity and my life as an artist and into the healing arts, and going back and forth and holistically discovering that we are creators, we are healers. Healing is creating. Creating is healing. It's all a balance, and it all helps to like really activate our lives and put us in the position where we can co-create the reality that we want to see in the world just by tapping in. We always have access to it. It is a symbiotic relationship, and with that, we can truly be the change that we wish to see in the world. I want to thank all of my co-authors for being brave enough to put their story out there, because it truly inspired me to put mine out there, and the beautiful synchronicity of life and everything that blossoms out of it when you are in alignment with yourself. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Lyra. I'm one of the authors of Activating the Divine Human, Embracing Our Shadow as Well as Our Light. I wanted to talk about the process of writing this story as one of the authors. Each of us wrote a chapter, and so my chapter is about my journey, and I'm focusing on the healing because that was really big for me. And when I say healing, I'm not just talking about physical, right? I'm talking about spiritual, mental, emotional, all of that's part of it. You know, all these pieces are part of the puzzle that fit together, just like all of us are connected in our own way to the divine. How we experience that is going to be different for each of us, but it's all connected and it's all in there. And this is the first time I've ever written a published work, so the idea of sharing my story itself was a bit scary and part of the process of healing. Sharing our stories together, each author, each person who wrote a chapter, that's also part of the healing too. As we each get to read each other's story and share, it was an incredible bonding experience, and I really love this group, and I hope that when you read our stories that you will come away with it feeling more connected and excited about this journey that you're on, wherever you might be in that journey. If you've carried some trauma and you want to release it, then I hope that in reading these stories you will see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and realize that that path is going to be different for each person. Your path, your aunt or uncle, cousin, parents, each person is going to be different, but the important thing is to realize we're all connected and we're all on this planet together. And I hope that in reading my story, you'll learn something about me and feel some connection, hopefully, to nature, to the planet. My chapter does talk a lot about being an herbalist, because that's where I'm at in my journey. And that's something very important to me. And I hope it speaks to you and your heart. And thank you so much for taking the time to read this book. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mielle Fox, and I'm one of the authors here for the book Activating the Divine Human. My chapter is called Be the Change. And when Atusa first invited me on to be one of the co-authors within this book, I thought, oh, sure, why not? I'll just write a chapter. And the journey that I have taken myself on as I explore the depths of what I needed to work through and resolve to really tap into my heart, to hear the whispers of my heart, has just been I'm just going to call it exponentially expansive. So it started out as, sure, let me tell a little bit of my story. Let me share some of the things I've gone through. Let people know what do I do and how can I be found and all the things, because I love to talk and I love to write. And in the process of working through previous history, previous traumas, inner child work, things that I thought I had worked through and resolved, but yet clearly I had not, the healing that I experienced for myself and what I hope and wish will bring some healing for those people reading the book is it's just infinite. I mean, the capacity for the growth is infinite. And where does it really start? It starts with our willingness, our awareness that we are the source of the healing. You can visit all the therapists you want, you can do all the modalities you like, but the reality is until you want to sit with yourself and really take a look at some of the things that you've experienced and gone through and do so unjudgmentally, unconditionally, and with compassion, kindness, and love for yourself, you are basically doing all the external things without ever hitting what really needs to be taken care of, which is in order to activate your divine human, your soul within your human being, you need to walk your way home to your heart. And so it's been an honor and a privilege to be a portion and a contributor on this writing project. It's just been beyond any of my possible expectations of what would I achieve for myself. And my hope is that for the readers, they will find pieces of their own healing within the stories told by the other authors. So that is why did I start the project? What did I gain from the project? It's just phenomenal. Let me just tell you a little bit of who I am, what I am. It is certainly in the book and you'll find it there, but let me just share with you briefly. So I have a 3-decade career in oral health care. I work in a small rural community, providing care for my community, and I love my community and it's amazing. However, what I will say is it provides me a sense of service and a sense of giving, but it does not completely, shall I say, fill my cup. So I discovered that the best way for me to fill my cup is to really share out how do we walk ourselves home to our heart and start to shift and move things for people, literally one heart at a time. So as a result of that, I created a website called Foxed In Energetics, where I explore the energy of the heart. I explore it through numerology. I explore it through EFT tapping. I explore it through what I refer to as awareness of energetics and help people to discover and have the awareness for themselves and help to guide them so that they can lead the best possible life they would desire for themselves. So with all that being said, please enjoy the book. I hope you love it. If you want to reach out, all of the information is at the end of the chapter in the bio. I'd love to hear from you. And it's just an amazing opportunity for you to start to walk your way home. So I hope you enjoy the book. Thanks so much.
Hi, my name is Sarah Cronin, and I wrote for the book the chapter Excavating My Ancient Self. And I wanted to do this video right now, right where I am, because I'm feeling my ancient self so deeply these days. And it has been such an honor and a gift to be a part of this project. Every single person who is writing, who has this chapter that will be in this book, is amazing and special and unique in their own way. And you read through the stories and they're so vastly different and the writing styles are so different. But the thing that I think bonds it all together is that we are all this looking for this heart-centered space. We are in and out of this heart-centered space. We are looking to live in this heart-centered space. And the expression of what that means to us is different, but the same. And getting to know all of these women and seeing all the healing that they've done is a gift in and of itself. And I'm confident that by the time we are birthing this out into the world, we will have healed that much more. We're still a few months out, but it feels important. I feel it in my heart. And I know it's been important for the other authors. And anyone who chooses to read this will find resonance with themselves somewhere. May not be my story. That's cool. But one of these stories will speak to you. I'm confident. And I hope that you join us to find and live in this heart-centered space, because I have to tell you, the amount of joy it creates is indescribable. Sending love and hugs.
Hi, my name is Shauna, and I am a co-creator, author, and so much more than what I could ever imagine. In first joining this group project, community project, this effort of love, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, let alone what parts of my past I was going to share. And I soon started to see that in writing my chapter, I needed this a lot more than what I could ever imagine, and that this was a crucial stepping stone to the transformation and evolution to who I am and who I've always been. One of the greatest messages I've received during this process, and that I hope the reader can also take away, is that our lives hold value, and that no matter where we are in our life, as cliche as it sounds, you are right where you need to be, and that this life is worth living no matter where we're at. In this project, so many of us, all from different backgrounds, ages, I've soon realized shared more experiences than what I could ever imagine. We may not have had identical paths, but in our community and in our sharing, we soon discovered, speaking for myself and maybe even with the others in our group meetings, is that we can relate. There's an understanding and there's a love. And it's without judgment, and it's without fear, and it's without any of that. And it has been an absolute gift and beautiful process. I'm trying not to cry. I'm not much of a crier, but it seems that in this development I've discovered that is a very healthy part of healing. And I hope that, just like myself, that whoever gets this book, that it helps you tremendously. Maybe you may not see it right away, and that's okay. That's part of the journey. Don't give up. Keep your head up high. The horizon's tall, but it's only because you need the best view to really see the bigger picture. I wish you the best. May you enjoy life and see the fun in every single moment. Take care. Love you.
Everybody wants to avoid pain and seeks healing. And we know without pain there is nothing to heal. So let's embrace our shadow as well as our light. My name is Sogol Romani, and I am called Sue since many years ago when I moved from Iran to England to study. My name organically changed, and now most people call me, and most of my friends call me Sue. I am one of the authors of the book Activate the Divine Human, and my chapter is called The Four Seasons. And the inspiration behind the name of the chapter is coming from the 4 seasons of the journey of a human life, from the childhood to adolescence and the old age, but also Vivaldi. This classical piece of music is so expressionist, carries so much emotion that I felt that the 4 seasons can have no words but still be very expressive. And I hope that these chapters, these words that I use, gives that freedom of expression to the reader. When I was first asked to take the project of this book, I accepted thinking I want to leave something of myself behind for the sake of my children, something that they can remember me by. It would be my legacy. And I can show my life, my experience of life from the lens of my vision towards my journey to my children. But when I started writing it, I realized, oh boy, this is much deeper than I thought. And I had to really go back and relive moments that for many, many years and for many, many reasons, of course, fear-based, was denied, suppressed, and now I am standing here facing myself and I have to look in my own eyes as a child, as a young person in a foreign country adjusting, as a single mother, as a woman in a career, and also as an aging woman going through the changes. And I had to hold myself so lovingly and face all of these scary parts of me and my shadows. And I'm glad I did it because every moment brought those memories again and I relived it. I could smell, I could taste, I could feel, I could touch, and I didn't know they were also rooted inside of me. So basically, I created this book to create this maze, safe maze for the reader to be able to go through the same experiences of shortcomings, grief, fear, lost, unjust, love, beauty, joy, and it's part of life. My life story is not extraordinary, but the emotions of what I've been experiencing is probably more relevant to the feelings of others. They're normal feelings that we all feel, but we don't talk about. And I want to bring that ordinary aspect of it. It is ordinary to feel all of this. So to conclude, without the mud, there is no flower, there is no lotus. So let's get muddy until we flower. Thank you.
Hello, welcome. My name is Victoria Stadel, and I'm one of the authors in this fantastic new book, Activating the Divine Human. I was privileged to be able to write one chapter, and my chapter is a tiny portion of my life story that I tried to capture where I was when I wrote it, which was moving through a lot of fear, many years of personal work, trying to move away from shoulds and what I thought others needed or wanted from me, to really reconnecting to myself and to spirit. And so my hope is that anyone who reads the chapter, they'll find something in it that resonates or is helpful to them in their own personal life and journey. And my bigger hope is that anyone who has the privilege to pick up the book and read it, that they'll find a number of stories that resonates with them. Each is unique. All the women who wrote in this book are amazing, fantastic, and unique. And what makes them amazing and fantastic is their willingness to be vulnerable, to share their deepest parts of themselves, their struggles, in a society where we often aren't that real with each other. And so my hope is that it gives others some real strength, and others have gone through their path, and more so even inspiration for everyone out there. So thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and look forward to you reading the book and getting to know our community. Thank you.